Hey, what's up, comrades? Not much to say here. So, on my continuing journey with my daughter to play every game that I could possibly play, Princess Peach is the main character. We started with Super Princess Peach 3, which is someone remade Mario Brothers 3, and just Princess Peach is the main character, so that was right. It's literally just playing Mario 3. Then there's Princess Peach Showtime, which was delightful, and now I'm playing Super Mario Brothers 2, and just only using Princess Peach. And my goal, like with Super Princess Peach 3, was to play through the whole game, because I've never actually played through like the whole game. Like, I have beaten the game in the past a long time ago, but I used like all the warp stuff, and then yeah, and then that's what I did. So this time I was like, I'm not going to do that, but then I forgot where the warp stuff was. So the way Super Mario Brothers 2 works, or Super Princess Peach 2, as I'm now going to refer to it as, is that it's actually a game based on, so Nintendo had a game, and then when they brought it over to the United States of America, they were concerned that the actual Super Mario Brothers 2 was going to be too hard. This is at least like what I recall. This might not be accurate. I don't know. I'm not going to look it up. And so they took this other game and just reskinned it as a Mario game. And when I say reskinned, all they reskinned was you had 4 choices for characters, and it was like Arabian themed. So Toad fit right in, and then they had a girl. They just put Princess Peach there, and then they had skinny guy and short guy. And then everyone has certain abilities. So if I remember correctly, Mario has like a quicker jump, and then Luigi like floats, so he can do like long jumps. Oh no, he can jump higher. He has high jumps, and I think he does float like a tiny bit. And then Princess Peach like floats. So she's clearly the best. And I remember even when I beat it back as a child, I always used Princess Peach because she's clearly the best, because she can just like float over stuff for like a decent amount of time. And then Toad's thing is he can like pull things out of the ground fast, which is kind of useful if you need to like grind lives or something. Because during the game, occasionally you'll get these potions. The potions open a door, and if you use the door near plants in the ground, because you can pick up plants and throw them at monsters, they turn into coins, and then you use the coins at the end of the level to play like a slot game, and that slot game's how you get like extra lives a lot of the time. There's also the other mechanics are there's cherries in the level. You collect, I think, 5 cherries, and a star will appear on the ground, which makes you temporarily invincible. There's mushrooms. When you use the potion, every now and again, if you put it in the right spot, there'll be a mushroom. The mushroom will give you an extra life. You can get up to 4 lives. You start with 2, which can be very useful. You have lives. When the lives run out, you just go back to the beginning of like the world you're in, which can be super annoying, especially if it's like at the final boss. And then, yeah, you just jump. On most things, you can jump and pick them up. If you can't jump on them because they have spiky things or whatever, you can pick up other monsters and throw them at them, and you can pick up the vegetables out of the ground and chuck them at them as well. Sometimes you got to like jump on monsters and they'll carry you across the map. Sometimes there's a monster on like a magic carpet you have to get across some maps with. The bosses, the main bosses are like Fire Guy, Snake Guy. The final boss is Wart, who's a turtle guy, and you beat them by throwing either vegetables, or like they'll have these bricks you can pick up, or these kind of like pots you can pick up that don't break, and throw them at them. The mini bosses are almost always the same. They're I can't remember what they're called, like Eggbert or whatever. They're these kind of lizard-looking monsters that walk back and forth and shoot eggs out of their mouth. So you have to jump on the egg, pick it up, and then throw it at them. And then there's a second version that's red that shoots fire sometimes, and then there's a green version that only shoots fire. And then after you beat them, they drop a crystal, you pick up the crystal, and it lets you go through this bird mouth to the next level. Now, at the very end of the game, like 7-2, because there's 7 worlds, before you fight Wart, I think it's 7-2, it might be 7-1, after you kill the Eggbert person, and use the crystal, you then have to fight the bird mouth as well. And then once you beat it, it then turns into the door that leads you to Wart. I'm pretty sure that's how it works, if I remember correctly. And then once you beat Wart, you beat the game. And it releases all these, you free all these fairies. And, yeah. So there's like no story. Like, the whole thing's like a dream. It's a dream for Mario. Like, literally after you beat the game, there's like a celebration, and Wart's being carried by like the fairies, and you get like, hey, you used Princess Peach 18 times out of the 18 levels you played. Congratulations, Super Princess Peach. And then it shows Mario sleeping and dreaming this whole thing. So it's like, wah, wah, wah. That's why you don't see a lot of these characters in future games, but you actually do. So Shy Guys came from here. The Bullet Mouth guys came from here. They had bombs before. I'm trying to remember what else. But there's a lot of like enemies. And then if you watch like the TV show, a lot of the enemies from that came from here too, because like the fire guy Wart shows up along with Bowser and stuff. So there are some things that carried over to other Mario games from this like reskin, because this game was like extremely popular at the time. And I think they even like when they did the Mario All Stars, so it allowed like the Japanese audience to play this for the first time in like its reskin form, and then it also allowed Americans to play like the actual Super Mario Brothers 2, which is just Super Mario Brothers 1, but like more difficult. Like literally, that's all it is. And so playing with Princess Peach was pretty good. Like I said, I accidentally used a warp because I wasn't like paying attention, so I skipped. I did level 1, then 4, 5, 6, 7. I was able to get through most of it. At some point, I started save stating a little bit, just because I didn't want to go back and play the whole freaking world again. So like against like Wart and I think like a couple other bosses, I would save. And occasionally, I would just save mid-level because I'm like, I don't want to play this whole thing again. And then I would like, but it wasn't as savvy scummy as like when I was playing Super Mario Peach 3, which that is like the controls here are so much more tight than they were in that, and I don't remember them being that bad. So I don't know if that's just like when the person made the changeover, some of the controls got a little more loose, but I kind of remember them being a little bit loose. But Super Mario Brothers, maybe when they redid the All Stars version, they're less loose. I don't remember. But yeah, I mean, so there's not really much story to speak of. You just play through the levels, and then there's too many bosses. There's like World 1-1, World 1-2, and they'll have like the Egbert lady, and then you'll get to like level 3, like 1-3, and then that'll be like the boss, and that'll be a different boss for most of the levels. And then at level 7, it's Wart, and that ends the game. So it was fun. It was fine. Plays pretty smooth. The jumping's pretty good. There's a lot of like secrets to find, and that secrets are just like more lives, more coins. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else that really is secret-y. And then you got, it's like traditional levels. And granted, I can't remember what level 2 and 3 were, and I skipped them, so who knows. But you got like ice level, sand level. Like the first level is just like grass level. You get kind of like castle level, cloud level, and then whatever level 2 and 3 were. I'm assuming there's like a water world kind of level, but I don't remember ever going into water, really. Like going into water. So yeah, it was fine. So much to talk about, so this will be short. I was thinking about just like attaching this on to Super Mario Brothers, Super Princess Peach 3, and re-uploading it. So I may do that. This will just come right afterwards, or come right before, because it technically takes place beforehand. Oh goodness, we shall see. But yeah, there you go. Super Princess Peach 2. Catch y'all later.